If you are on Substack but struggling to grow, you're probably using one of the most powerful features on the platform wrong, or not at all. I'm talking about Substack Notes. Notes are like Substack's own social feed. They are short, snackable posts that let you connect with readers and other creators. They are the fastest way to get seen, start conversations, and build trust on the platform without the pressure and effort of writing long-form posts all the time. When we launched the Write, Build, Scale publication, Notes were the first thing we focused on, and they helped us reach thousands of new readers, collaborate with amazing creators, and bring in paying subscribers faster than anything else we have done. Today I will be sharing 13 proven strategies we have tested and still use every single week. But before we dive into the actual growth strategies, let's take a second to talk about what Substack Notes actually are. Think of Notes as the heartbeat of Substack's social layer. They are short updates. A few sentences, a picture, a quote, or a question can be enough. These show up in the Substack app and in the web feed. And they are not just seen by your existing subscribers. They can also reach entirely new audiences. And here's why Notes matter so much for your growth. First, they give you visibility because your content can appear in other people's feeds, putting you in front of readers who might never have found you otherwise. Second, they are one of the best ways to build real connections because you can comment on Notes as well. You can reply to people directly, start conversations, and collaborate with other writers in a natural way. And third, they make it easy for you to be consistent because a note can only take a few seconds, a few minutes to post, which means you can show up daily without feeling overwhelmed. And of course, all of this will help you grow your publication and income because it will lead to new subscribers discovering your work. And the first strategy I want to share is what we call the 10-5-1 rule. Every time you publish a note, you like 10 notes from other creators. Then you write 5 meaningful comments, not just something like great note, but something that adds to the conversation or shows genuine interest in their work. And finally, you send one direct message to a creator in your niche and start a conversation. As you see, the 10-5-1 rule is incredibly simple, but that's also why it works. Turning this into a habit will help you build a strong community, increase your visibility, and foster genuine, real connections on the platform. And all of this will only take you about 20 to 30 minutes a day, but it's one of the simplest ways to grow faster and create real momentum. The second strategy is a rather simple one, and yet most people get it wrong. If you want your notes to be effective, you need to write like an actual person. Notes are not blog posts. Think of them as conversations and quick thoughts. You have to really skip the corporate tone or AI tone and write like you're texting a friend. You can use emojis, contractions, a bit of personality. People connect with people, not with faceless brands. And this is incredibly valuable on Substack Notes in particular. But even though you want to sound like a human, you want to also make sure that people actually pay attention to your work, which is why you want to start your Substack Notes with a strong hook. The very first line of your note will decide whether someone stops scrolling or just keeps going in the feed. If your hook is weak, you will lose them before they even read the second sentence. For example, imagine you run a fitness publication. A weak hook might sound something like this. I've been thinking about starting a new workout routine. There's nothing wrong with it. You can share what you think, but it doesn't really grab attention. Now compare that to something a little bit stronger, like this 5-minute morning workout burns more calories than your daily coffee run. One makes people scroll past and the other makes them stop and think, I need to know what this is. I want to know what that workout is. You always want to open strong, either by sparking curiosity or by promising a clear, tangible benefit for your readers. The fourth strategy is to keep each note focused on one single idea. A note should deliver one clear thought, tip, or emotion. If it's a tip, keep it to one tip. If it's a story, tell just that one story. Clarity makes your note easier to read, to remember, and to share. And of course, the only exception to this rule is when your note itself is an actual list of ideas. You also don't need to reinvent the wheel every single day. If you post a note that performs well, don't be afraid to bring it back. You can retell it through a different story, present it in a new format, or even just update the hook so it catches people in a different way. Don't be afraid to use similar ideas, but repackage them. Most of your readers have missed the idea anyway, and bringing them back to life will just give you more opportunities to show up more frequently. The sixth strategy is to rotate between 6 proven notes types. At Write Build Scale, we have found over time that there are 6 typical types of notes that perform the best. And if you look at your notes feed, you will find that most of the notes you see there will naturally fall into one of those 6 categories. But if one idea that you have doesn't fit any of those ideas, there could be one of 2 things happening. Either you have a really unique and exceptional idea and you can tap outside of the box and just give it a try anyway, or it might be a signal that you might want to tweak the idea or put a slightly different spin to it so that it does fit one of those 6 types of notes. Now here's what those 6 types of notes are. Some notes are educational and they teach your audience something specific. It could be quick and actionable via notes. Others are inspirational and they help shift people's minds or see a new opportunity. Other notes are personal. They show a snapshot of your life, your work, or whatever else you're talking about. Then there are promotional notes that can highlight an offer or a product in a casual way. You might want to use those sparingly, but still, there's a time and a place for them. There are feedback notes, which are about asking your audience a single clear question to learn more about them. And finally, collaborative notes, which invite people to share their own work or ideas. When you rotate between these types of notes, you will always have something new to post without necessarily running out of inspiration. But if you really feel inspired and don't know what to post on notes, you will love this tip. One of the easiest ways to come up with ideas is to turn your comments into notes. Your readers are already telling you what they are curious about by commenting. They are also letting you know what resonates with them by engaging. By turning their engagement points and comments into new notes, follow-up questions, or even hooks for your posts, you can keep your content audience-driven and truly relevant to the people who really matter. My 8th tip is to let your people see that there is an actual human being working behind the scenes of your publication. Show them your workspace, a draft in progress, a small win you are celebrating, or even something fun from your personal life. It's these moments that let people see the human side of your work, and that's what builds real connection in the time of AI. Another incredibly simple tip to use Substack Notes is to use it as a testing ground. When you have a new idea, no matter if that's a content idea, a product idea, or a bigger strategy thought, you can test it on Notes before committing to the full project. Just put a small version of whatever you have in mind into a note and see how your audience reacts to it. This way you can easily test your ideas at no risk. On a similar note, if you are looking for feedback from your audience, you can literally use Substack Notes to ask clear questions. If you want to spark engagement, keep your questions simple. Ask one clear question per note so your audience knows exactly how to respond. For example, you might say something like, "What's your biggest challenge with staying consistent on Substack?" That's something that I would ask my audience. The clearer the question, the better the answers will be. Now let's quickly talk about the hardest part of writing Substack Notes, staying consistent. Since Substack doesn't have an integrated scheduling feature, you will have to manually publish your notes, which can be quite time-consuming and draining if you don't have a backlog. That's why we recommend batch producing your notes. Once a week, write 15 to 20 notes in one go and save them in a doc or in your idea management system. We use Notion for that, and our students inside Substack system get a full-blown template they can customize and use. This way they always have something to post, even on their busiest days, because it's literally just a copy-pasting process. Strategy number 12 is more of a mindset issue. I want to make sure this won't hold you back. If you want to grow a successful content business and audience, you have to stop chasing perfection. Some of our most popular notes were quick, unpolished thoughts that we almost didn't publish. Done is always better than perfect. The platforms reward consistency, not perfection. And even if a Substack note doesn't get the engagement you expected, every single thing you put out there helps you gather some data, learn, improve, and build relationships. Even though Substack Notes can have a decent shelf life compared to other short-form formats like on platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn, I highly recommend that you track your winners and repurpose notes that have done exceptionally well in the past. Because the truth is that only a tiny portion of your existing audience will see your content, and even if they do, they will forget about it. It's perfectly fine to recycle your best stuff after a couple of months. This helps you build a bigger backlog and benefit from the ideas that have already worked well once. So once a week, you can scroll through your own profile, check out which of your notes got the most replies or restacks, which brought the most subscribers, save those, and then use what has worked before. I'm using a handy tool called Raindrop to save my own notes to easily recycle through them. Now at this point, you should know that if you want to grow on Substack, notes are not optional anymore. They are essential. And if you want to grow faster, I recommend that you pick 3 of these strategies and start using them today. Watch your audience engagement and opportunities grow by doing these consistently. And when you feel confident about the changes, add the next 3 strategies to your stack. Let me know in the comments which of those ideas you will start using first, or if you're already doing any of these things. And check the description box for the link to our free Substack bestseller workbook. This is an in-depth PDF guide where we help you make all the important decisions that will help you build a best-selling Substack publication with hundreds of paid subscribers so you can successfully monetize your work. And if you want to grow your audience even faster, check out this video with 5 simple shifts that will help you grow your audience on Substack.